yeah. You ever have that classic schoolyard experience where they're gonna play a sport, but they gotta pick teams, and so two people pick teams, usually the best people at the sport, and then they go back and forth, until there's just two people left. And you don't want to be that last guy, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be picked last, because that means that team didn't actually pick you. They just decided that, okay, it'd be good to have one more person on the team, or okay, we'll take you on our team. Well, that kind of measuring up, it doesn't just happen on the schoolyard. It happens all the way through life. We just went through with it with our daughter who got into university. She had to do all these things to achieve a certain mark and a level, and have all these things on her application so that they would go, yup, you can come into our university. And then you graduate after that, and you go into the workforce, and you got to do interviews and applications, and you're trying to put your best foot forward so that people go, yes, you measure up. So it's not surprising that we get this messed up when it comes to Jesus and eternal life. You see, that's not the way it is with Jesus. That's not the way it is with God when it comes to eternal life. And that's what our passage today in 1 John is talking all about. John is trying to say, hey, it's not like the systems you're used to. You know, you're used to that you have to measure up. And in fact, if that's the system that you want to go with, you're not going to measure up. There's no way, there's no entrance into eternal life, into this life with God, by your measuring. You don't actually measure up. But there's this free gift because of what Jesus did, because of his sacrifice. That allows you to measure, not because of what you did, but because of what he did. And so John is doing kind of the opposite of what the schoolyard where you're picked last and how that feels. He's saying it's not about measuring, but in fact, God picked you because he loved you, not because you measured up, but because he loves you and he wants to have this life be with you. And so that is the good news today, that we don't have to measure. And John writes in order to give us confidence, saying it's not about measuring up, but it's about what Jesus has done for you. That is the good news that we carry as the good news people. That is what we communicate to others. I hope that you receive that today, and then you also share that today. Have a great day. Stay warm.